Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having a Pisces Sun and a Sagittarius Ascendant in a natal chart. Now, these signs are very different by sign. They are square by sign. They do have the fact that they're mutable in common. However, Pisces Sun can be rather introverted and introspective. It is a feminine sign. Pisces can be somewhat submissive, timid, and often very shy, while you have a Sagittarius ascendant that could be very buoyant, very forthright, willing to speak his or her mind very readily, can be blunt, can be very outspoken and philosophical, and can have a very expansive and jocular nature. So, in Sagittarius, being the masculine sign, is really a lot, can be a lot more outgoing than the Sun in Pisces. So there's a dichotomy. I don't know if I said that right, but you understand what I'm saying. The personality is a little bit paradoxical, and the thing about it is this person having Sagittarius rising will often come across as a lot more extroverted, gregarious, really expansive and optimistic and positive, while inwardly this person that's projecting the Sagittarius front as far as their outer demeanor can be a lot more introverted and really someone that might desire seclusion and solitude a lot, really strongly, but really it does not maybe express that need, at least not outwardly to others, as the typical Sun in Pisces. Now, the thing about this is, okay, in a natal chart, the Sun represents our basic wants, while the rising sign or ascendant can represent the manner or method in which one attains these basic wants. So for the Sun in Pisces, the basic wants can be connected with their dreams, with their ideals, with perhaps self-sacrificing, things of a fantasy nature, perhaps escape. And when I say escape, I don't mean in like a real derogatory or derisive way. I mean things connected perhaps with solitude and seclusion, and perhaps even the spiritual and or metaphysical. Now, having a Sagittarius ascendant, one or more of these basic wants may be attained, perhaps with a lot of Sagittarius rising exuberance, with a lot of positive energy, with a lot of optimism, being very upbeat. This person will obviously can be a lot more positive and optimistic than the typical Sun in Pisces. And Sun in Pisces can be somewhat dreamy, but having the Sagittarius ascendant, this person may very well try to attain these dreams with a lot of expansiveness, with a lot of hope, with a lot of all this positive energy, that kind of falling off the horse and getting back on kind of philosophy. And really, they may put these one or more of these dreams or ideals maybe applied to a Sagittarius-like profession, such as perhaps philosophy, theology, teaching, something connected with religious studies, maybe professor, something maybe connected with adventure or exploration. That Pisces Sun idealism may be injected into one of these Sagittarius type fields, maybe something connected with publishing or something of a scientific nature. This could be somebody, I can almost picture somebody, I could picture somebody doing something like sports medicine, because you would be incorporating that sports nature of the Sagittarius, and then with medicine, with healing. So maybe healing in like a sports type profession. I could see somebody being. This would be very ideal, I think, for somebody with this combination. And it could indicate too that maybe the person with this combination might pursue like a Pisces like thing. Perhaps with that Sagittarian like exuberance, and that Sagittarius positive energy, being very adventurous with it. Perhaps, for example, something like the metaphysical or spiritual, and doing it with a lot of exuberance and really, and a lot of that, I guess you could say, that Sagittarian like optimism, and being very and doing this in a very I guess you could say, in a very big manner, so to speak. So that is really that's something to look at with this combination, and consider that both are ruled by Jupiter. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So this could be somebody that really feels that he or she could be very fortuitous, and really be that kind of person that can really luck out and kind of shoot for the stars and really attain what they want. So anyway, it's also important to look at the aspect, if any, is made between the Pisces Sun and the Sagittarius Ascendant, as this can indicate how these energies may integrate well or not integrate as well. Now, as you know, they are square by sign, and they're incompatible by sign. However, you could also have a square aspect made between these two energies, and that could somewhat intensify, I guess you could say, the difficulty maybe in integrating these energies. Let's say if you have a square aspect, let's say the Pisces Sun is at 8 degrees and the Sagittarius Ascendant is at 10 degrees. That would form a square aspect between these energies, which could be adverse and adversarial. And even if the person is not cognizant of his or her astrological placements, it could indicate that this person may feel somewhat misconstrued or misunderstood by others due to the fact that what they're projecting outwardly may be strongly different than what is going on inside, which could cause some feelings of exasperation and tension. However, on the positive side, you could also have an out-of-sign sextile or trine aspect take place between these energies. Let's say the Pisces Sun is at 1 degree. And the Sagittarius Ascendant is at 29 degrees. Pisces Sun 1 degree, Sagittarius Ascendant 29 degrees. That would form an out-of-sign sextile aspect, which, even though by sign the energies are still, they're incompatible. However, there might be a little better, more positive blending and integration of these energies because of the sextile aspect. Now, the same could be true if you have an out-of-sign trine aspect take place between these energies. Let's say you have the Pisces Sun at 28 degrees and a Sagittarius Ascendant at 1 degree. That could be positive and auspicious. Now, you still have the conflict as far as the energy by sign, they're incompatible, but this could still be more auspicious than otherwise indicated because you have a positive aspect between these two energies. It's also important to look at the house placement of the Sun in Pisces, because even though the energy of the Sun in Pisces may be suppressed to some degree by the Sagittarian Ascendant, at the same time, this Pisces Sun energy may come out at least somewhat prominently in that particular house that it is placed in. Now, let's say that the Pisces Sun is placed in the 3rd house. Well, the energy may be weakened even a little bit more because the 3rd house is a cadent house. And generally, like if you have planets' energies in the 3rd house, the energy generally will be diminished and not as strong as opposed to a succedent or angular house. However, that Pisces Sun energy may come out somewhat prominently in matters connected with communication. Maybe this energy, this idealism, this compassion, and that the more emotional side may come out with siblings, if applicable, perhaps in their neighborhood, and maybe in matters connected with their short journeys, and maybe even during their early education. Now, or with their, I guess you could say, maybe in that period with people that were involved with their early education, I should say. Now, let's say the Sun in Pisces is in the 4th house. Well, the 4th house being an angular house, the Pisces energy may come out a little bit more prominently as opposed to the 3rd or the 5th, being the fact it is an angular house, and the energy can be accentuated a little bit more there as opposed to the other type houses. In any way, you may see perhaps that Pisces idealism, the emotionality, but the real sensitive side, and that more intuitive side might come out strongly to some degree in matters pertaining to their home and to their family. And there might be that strong Pisces sensitivity connected with matters with emotional security and maybe matters pertaining to the end of life as well. Now, if the Sun in Pisces is posited in the 5th house, well, you might see this Sun in Pisces idealism, the strong ability to overlook transgressions, trying to see the best in others, perhaps in matters connected with love and with romance, and even and really might see maybe that Sun in Pisces energy come out in matters with their hobbies, for example, such as maybe astrology, as in something with the metaphysical, or astrology as an example. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the Sun in Pisces and a Sagittarius Ascendant in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having the Sun in Pisces and a Capricorn Ascendant in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.